My name is Tara, and along with Andrea and Elfin and Julia, we did a case study on Lego and their reaction to Greenpeace's attack on them for their partnership with Shell. So for those of you who may not know so much about this case, in the 1960s, Lego and Shell formed a partnership in which Lego would produce toys with the Shell emblem printed on them, and that Shell would turn around and distribute at their gas stations. Now this was an extremely beneficial partnership for both brands, as according to Lego's company website, the toys reached the hands of 75 million children annually. So the two brands' most recent contract was signed in 2012, and this partnership was estimated to have a value of a $116 million PR campaign. It increased global sales for both brands by an average of 7.5%, and it also increased customer loyalty for both brands by 52%.
So essentially what happened was Greenpeace, of course, takes notice of Shell, and obviously as a major oil company, they're always a company that's on their radar. In 2012, Shell decides that they're going to begin drilling in the Alaskan Arctic to try to drill for more oil, and of course Greenpeace is outraged. And then they took it a step further in 2014 to introduce pieces of legislation to the U.S. administration to try to further expand their drilling in the Arctic area. And so what happened was Greenpeace said, okay, well, we're not making a lot of progress, so instead of attacking Shell, let's backtrack and let's go after Lego. And so what they decided to do was directly attack Lego in the hopes of shining light on the fact that A, Lego is technically being used by Shell to create a more trustworthy image, and the fact that Lego has a product that's generated directly towards youth and towards children, and that the actions of Shell directly transcend onto their image that Lego is portraying.
And so what Greenpeace did to attack this partnership is they created a YouTube video. And this YouTube video, they used the theme from the Lego movie, Everything is Awesome, and they flipped it around and turned it into Everything is Not Awesome. And so the video was actually set as like a Lego scene of the Arctic, and it showed the drilling, and then it showed all the Arctic animals, and then ever so slowly it started to fill with oil. And in the background is the theme song from Lego in a melancholy tone. And so at the very end of the video, all it has is the little Shell flag. All you can see is oil. And it said, stop the partnership between Lego and Shell by signing this petition. And so the YouTube video got over 7 million views, and people started signing the petition. And Lego's response to this was definitely not what you would expect from a brand. They used along the apologia theory, so they did apologize, but they did everything they could to diminish their responsibility. They pointed fingers at Greenpeace and Shell, saying it wasn't, our thing, we were just in this partnership, we're not involved in, destroying the ecosystem. And also they used a scripted apology, and they posted it on all their sites, and that's the only thing they gave to people.
Yeah, so in October of last year, the Greenpeace petition got a little over 1 million signatures, which ended the 50-year partnership between Shell and Lego, which resulted in a $3 million revenue loss for Lego. And a couple of the lessons that we learned from this case study was this was a huge PR win for Greenpeace, but what Lego missed out on was a huge PR opportunity to recreate their brand and bridge that relationship with their publics, because, as Julia said, they weren't genuine and they were giving these scripted answers. But the biggest takeaway from this case study is that brands have always been held accountable for their actions and the partnerships they hold, but with the digital age, they're under a microscope, and all their actions are much more visible, and they can't really get away with it as easily as they could have in the past. And that's basically our presentation for our Lego case study, and does anyone have any questions?